How I make over $1.2 million a year with WordPress and AI. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the video you've all been waiting for. I'm going to walk you through my entire process, from coming up with the ideas to putting them on WordPress and making money. And don't worry, this video is actually going to save you a ton of money, because unlike those other videos that tell you to spend a bunch of money on Shopify, ClickFunnels, Go High Level, and all these other expensive programs, yeah. While they've been doing that, I've been secretly running my WordPress website for many years and raking in millions of dollars. And no, it doesn't cost me $1,000 a month, $300 a month, or even $100 a month. Yep, that's right. I run the whole thing with a simple web hosting package that you can get for around $6 a month. And did I mention, I don't have to deal with all the complicated stuff. I simply use WordPress and let AI take care of the rest. It's actually a lot more simple than the gurus make it out to be. However, in order to get our ducks in a row and set up to make money, you're going to have to follow my process step by step. So if you're excited, smash the like button. And yeah, I think we're going to need a little bit more coffee for this training, because I'm going to show you everything from how I get a domain name, put it on hosting, set it up, add themes, make money, add monetization, membership sites, and the whole 9 yards. So that by the end of this video, you can go out there and duplicate what you see, get some traffic, and grow a business. Now, before we get started, we got to talk about the elephant in the room. A lot of people making videos like this promise that you're going to make the same amount of money that they make. However, the vast majority of people trying to make money online make nothing. That includes people buying courses, watching videos, and even taking action. This is a business. It takes work. And even then, there are no guarantees you're going to get anything. So what you're about to learn, while it has made me a lot of money online, I want you to think about this like a business person. And I want you to think strategic. Because far too many videos out there are teaching you the little nuances of how to use a tool or a program. And yeah, those videos rack up a lot of views, but they don't teach you business strategy. So I'm going to wrap it all into one. I'm going to show you what I do, why I do it, and how I do it. And you don't got to pay me a dime. I'm even going to have my note taker provide notes on this entire video so you can follow along step by step with nothing left out. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the real deal. So if you're tired of all the fluff that just has you signing up for program after program, where you end up with more debt than profit, then you're going to want to pay close attention to this entire video. And make sure you watch it all the way through, maybe even 2 times, so it sinks in. Yes, it's that important. So let's hop in the computer, and I'm going to show you my AI WordPress $1 million strategy so that you can see all the ins and outs of what I do and how it makes money. Come on, let's go to work. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. First of all, we're going to talk about how I use WordPress and AI. This is super important because a lot of people are just using WordPress, expecting it to do things that it can't do. But now with AI, we can pretty much make it do anything that even those fancy pants softwares use. And at the get-go, I want you to know that I'm not adverse to some of these softwares. There are some that I use in my business, but I think that the vast majority of people that are signing up for these expensive courses and programs don't really know what they're going to use them for. Therefore, it's not really useful for them. It's just a waste of money. So while I don't think that they're a complete rip-off or anything like that, I think that a lot of people are misguided. And what I would say is start with WordPress first, start bare bones, build it up, and then grow and buy those things when you need it. This is important, and this is business strategy, because if you get too top heavy, you're going to burn out really quick when you're saying, hey, my website I pay $300 a month for isn't really producing anything. It's a lot easier to shell out $5, $6 a month and build and grow from there. And then, of course, you have the extra difference between the $295 you're saving to do advertising and things like that. So it's going to give you a lot more leeway. And like I've said, I've been doing this business for over 25 years, made millions of dollars, and a lot of it was with bare bones software. There's one software that I use that cost me a lot of money, but that was only after I started having a profitable business in that niche. I graduated to the software, and then I later dialed it back because it was costing me a ton of money that I really didn't need to pay for what it was actually doing for me. More about that in a minute. First of all, let's talk about why we're using WordPress. One is fast, flexible, and you can create a website with no coding, no experience. Also, Google loves WordPress. Like, they rank them at the top of Google all the time, which is great. So getting SEO traffic and everything like that is very easy. And it's flexible. Like, you can have 50 different WordPresses on one domain. Not recommended. Sometimes I will have 2 or 3 in the form of membership sites and things like that. Also, it's a massive ecosystem where there's lots of plugins, themes, integrations, pretty much everything that you can run your business with. It's great for blogs, affiliate sites, e-commerce, memberships, digital products, and everything. And also, since it's something that a lot of people know about and use, it's easy to scale, and later down the road, if you want to sell your business, it's easy to sell because, you have something that you can actually give them, which is really cool. It's actually built on your platform. Whereas if you build this on a different platform, and one of the things that I look at here is when we talk about different platform, I'm talking about like School or maybe Go High Level where it's actually on their platform. Like ClickFunnels, you're actually hosting it on ClickFunnels, not your own web host. So you can't really switch or anything. You're locked in for life as long as you use that. Otherwise, it's a big hassle to change. So very important to look at there. Now, where does AI come in? First of all, we're going to look at AI for content creation. We're going to be able to create blog posts, help us write emails, product reviews, the whole 9 yards. We can also get into using it for images, videos, and all kinds of things like that. Video sales letters, sales pages, sales content, all kinds of stuff, graphics for your sales, graphics for Pinterest, graphics for promotion, SEO, software tools, the whole 9 yards. And we can do this with a basic ChatGPT account, or I think you can even use like a free Google Gemini account or something like that. Very, very easy. Now, also going through looking at SEO optimization, this is another thing that a lot of people overthink. They think that there's some magic voodoo in getting ranked on the search engine, when in reality, it's just serving your market with good content and knowing the right keywords to go for. Far too often, I find people are struggling because they have the wrong niche. They come to me and say, Marcus, I'm in the weight loss niche. And I'm like, no, you're not. That's a category. That's not really a niche. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the right niche, the right keywords, and use AI to help us. Also, AI can help with automation. We can do autoresponders, lead gen, and everything like that. Coding and custom formatting. This is where we're really, really going to shine in this training here, is going through and showing you how to use AI to do custom things with WordPress so that you can make money. This is super simple because up until now, we had to get fancy plugins. It took forever to do this. Now I can go to AI, and if I know what I'm asking it, I could build this in a super simple way. So I could go through and use something like custom PHP, CSS tweaks, plugin edits, shortcodes, the whole 9 yards. You could literally do what you want at the drop of a hat, and it's very, very simple. Also, we can instantly generate or fix HTML, CSS, Java for unique site features. If you don't know what those terms mean, don't worry. I can't read them either. We're going to let AI help us. We can also set up custom formatting, comparison tables, calculators, interactive content without hiring a developer. This is key. I've had a developer here on staff for 15 years. It costs a lot of money and it takes time to get things back. And between you, me, and the wall here, this weekend I sat down and I created an entire back-end course with AI, including programming. We got a video coming out later this week on that. Stay tuned for it. That's another thing that's going to make me a lot of money. We can also go through and speed up troubleshooting and different things like that. Now, let's go ahead and dive in the moment you've been all waiting for, where I'm actually setting this up. What we're going to do is we are going to start with a domain name. This is where I always start. I want to start with a niche, a domain, an idea. Now, I go and I find my domain names using Spamzilla. You could go there and you could find domains that are at auction and you can buy them, or you can buy them expired or whatever it is. What I'm doing is I'm looking for a business that I can grow. So you could see like this one here, explainervideoproduction.com. This is one I built on a different webinar or video. You could see it here on the channel. And I actually built this out based on what it was, which was an explainer video company. Hence the name, right? Makes a lot of sense there. And with this one, it was ranking for all kinds of different keywords related to explainer videos, how to make explainer videos and stuff like that. We were able to buy this a couple months ago, and you could see the rankings are starting to pop back really good, and we are getting traffic. This thing gets traffic every day. And back before I bought it, it was getting like 4,000 visitors a month. So thinking about this like a business, like, okay, I'm going to make this website about explainer videos. I'm going to put them to the software and the services that are about the explainer videos, and that is how I'm going to make a business. And looking at how big this market is actually key because, you know, it's huge. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of affiliate offers. I could build a mailing list and the whole 9 yards. And you can see here, we are running this on WordPress with AI. Very, very simple. And it's actually ranking and getting leads and stuff like that. I think it actually made a sale or two, but I haven't really done much with it. So we're going to ramp it up as we go along. Now, that was just an example of one domain I bought at auction. It was like a $600 domain. However, you will see that there are other ones that I get fairly inexpensive, like this one about college or drone fishing or whatever it is. The one that we're going to be setting up today, as you can see, a lot of my domains have a really good value here. We're going to be setting up one today, which is in the nutrition coaching secrets market. So what was my thought process behind buying this? Well, I was thinking, okay, people are out there and they're nutrition coaches, right? That's a big market. If I was to go here, I could see it does rank for some keywords. Nothing too fancy. It wasn't like a zinger, but it did have some rankings that told me, okay, people are interested in nutrition coaching, NCI coaching, whatever these are, right? And I'm going to go through and obviously make sure there's no trademarks or anything when you buy domains. You don't want to step on any toes or anything like that. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to do Content Explorer or Keywords Explorer, and I'm going to do nutrition coaching. And you're going to see that there's lots of nutrition coaches that want to get more business. All right, so we have like 2,000 visitors a month. Now take a look at this number here. When we see 2,000 visitors a month and a traffic value of 7,600, they are saying that estimated the amount per click you would earn, or that it's paying, obviously not what we'd earn. We have no idea till we set it up. Most people earn nothing. We could see that it says $4 a click, which means on the word nutrition coaching, people that are bidding, the people that are on the ads on Google are actually paying on average $4 per click. So I know there's a lot of money in that market. I also know that nutrition coaches need more business. This is a lot like when you look at Alex Hormozy and you're like, okay, how did he make his business? Well, what he did early on, he had some gyms that did okay, read his book, and then he went on and taught gyms how to get more business using the internet. That's the same thing we're doing here, nutrition coaching. It's the same thing. Like, instead of promoting a gym, you're going to promote this. So I'm going to help these people build their business. Now, you can do whatever market you want. As you can see, I go and buy domains in literally everything. You can take a look at some of these here. I have domains in hiking, lawyers, motorcycles, even stuff like, you know, how to take care of a pet bunny rabbit or something like that. Or this one, ceramic tile sealer for people that are sealing tile. I think they're doing that in like bathrooms or something like that. And we could go through and take a look and say, okay, great. So now we know that this market is good and it has money. How much money do we think it has? Well, this is where you could ask ChatGPT and say, how many nutrition coaches are there in the USA? And it'll tell you about the market and what they do. And a lot of these people do not have websites. A lot of these people do not know how to market themselves. They don't know how to do Google marketing or whatever. And we could see here, there is an estimated 128,000 health coaches. So like, even if you got 1% or 0.5%, you could make a decent living in this market. Now, it is going to take some work. You are going to have to go out there and sell things, but I think this would be a good market to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to where I bought the domain at GoDaddy. And if you want to know how to buy a domain, you just go to GoDaddy, search for the domain. If it's available, you click on buy. You could also buy it with web hosting. You could go to a site like gohubsite.com and get your domain with web hosting, or you could buy it separate. I like to keep my domains separate. That way they're in one spot. I know where they're at, and my hosting is somewhere else. Again, this is all about owning your market, making it work in a simple way. So what we're going to do is we're going to look for demand, low competition, affiliate, or product opportunities. When you're going the domain route and you're buying a domain, it's almost like buying a distressed business because it does have the asset of the domain and some of the rankings. So you could go back in time using a tool and say, okay, well, what did it rank for over here? What did it rank for over here? What can I do to make this work? Pretty simple, okay? And you can see there's some stuff here. It is based on someone's name. We're not going to use that name in our marketing. We're going to make our own. And it just so happens, looking at the structure of these backlinks, or links rather, we can see that it was, in fact, a ClickFunnels site. Usually when it says opt-in and has a number, that means it's ClickFunnels. Now, going through here, what we're going to do is we're going to go into GoDaddy right over here. I'm going to click on Change Name Servers. Now, I'm using gohubsite.com, which is the tutorial on the host that I use. If you're using the same as me, you would do the same as me. If you're not, you would use whatever your host gives you. So we're going to go in here and we're going to edit the name servers. If it decides to come up this afternoon, that would be great. Sometimes I get a little impatient. Let's go ahead and change name servers. We're going to have to reload this here. And we'll click on DNS. And then we're going to click on Change Name Servers. Wants to give us trouble today. This is something that happens. If you get frustrated while doing this, let me know. Sometimes it does get a little frustrating waiting for the tools to work. So while we're waiting, let's see if we could reload it. And DNS. And we wait. This is where I would usually get pretty frustrated. But it's okay. We're making a video. Got to see it all, warts and everything, right? While we're waiting for that, we can go ahead and go into our web host right like this. In our web host, if you're using a shared account, it'll look like this. You're just going to click on cPanel. And then in cPanel, you should be able to go into domains down here. So we're going to go into domains right like this. See if our GoDaddy is loading here. There we go. And we're going to scooch over to change name servers. We're going to use, I want to use my own name servers, and we're going to put in ns1.inmotionhosting.com, and then we're going to do the same thing, but ns2. That's why I copied it. We'll just change it to a 2. We can hit save. Again, I'm using this host. That's why I use those. If you're using something else, you would use something else. Now, I'm just going to reload this just to make sure that did take. So we'll go to DNS, and it'll go right here. Looks like it did take. Now, if it takes, you should be able to see a change. Like instead of this lander, it should go to something else. Now, depending on where you're at in the internet, sometimes it takes a while to propagate, which means, 4 to 6 hours, something like that. Sometimes 24 hours it'll take to actually propagate where it'll change this over. Sometimes it's instant. If you want to check if it's instant, you can just check on your phone or something that's on a different internet, because sometimes it caches. Or you could just go over to your host right like this, and you could try to add it. So we're going to hit create a new domain. We're going to go right in here, put that in there, and it should tell us if it's ready to go. So we'll hit submit, and if it gets us an error, that means it's probably still propagating. And yes, this will take some time. It's a little bit of a pain, but overall we'll be able to set this up. Now, while we're doing this, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the stuff that this ranked for. So what I'm going to need is some pages that match these, which is pretty cool. So we could do like NCI nutrition, or even like nutrition certification. I would probably go for that. So let's do like nutrition certification and just kind of see what this is going to look like. Precise, nutrition cost, all different types. So there is traffic here. Maybe even like just nutrition certification. There we go. This is a good one. Now we're seeing a lot more traffic. Look at that value, just boom, skyrocketed, which is great. So now we could do like become a nutrition coach. And we're just going to kind of do this preliminary keyword research to see what's out there. And yes, we can see there's a lot out there. And it looks like this is starting to create the domain. So let's see here. Right, like this. And let me just double check something real quick, see if we can get this to load while we're live. Right here. And let's see. Sometimes if I just switch my internet over to a different one, sometimes it'll show. There we go. So it is actually showing. So see how I just did that, and now it's here. Now, if it says not private, don't worry. That's just when your host is new, it takes a minute to propagate and become HTTPS, which is what's up here. So it should do that on its own, like usually about 10 minutes or so. And you could go in and do some checks and things like that. Now, here's the part where sometimes it hangs up, which is fine. We're just going to go back into cPanel again, and I'm going to see if it actually did add that domain. So we'll go to domains, and then we should see, what are we, nutrition N. Where's nutrition? So it didn't look like it added it yet. Let's see if there's some on the next page. Okay, there we go. So it did it. There we go. Nutrition coaching. So it is added. So we're good. So what we're going to do, if this is just keep spinning, okay, it gave us an error because it already was there. So it did add. Just ignore the error because here we're seeing it is there. You will get errors. There are things you have to work through. You just got to work through them and keep going. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and we're going to go to cPanel and we are going to go to WordPress management right over here, right here. Okay, under WordPress management, this is going to come up with all the WordPresses that we have on our hosting and all the domains and things like that. Now, the cool thing about hosting a website with a hosting account versus like a ClickFunnels or something like that is you're paying the same $6 for like as many sites as you want. I could have 50 sites on one. It's still $6, not $6 each, still just $6, right? So pretty cool. Now, again, check with however much it is at the time. It'll be between $6 and sometimes they're like $20 or something like that. But most of the time you can get them fairly inexpensive. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hit install. WordPress is free and it comes with your host. So you could just go ahead and install it right like this. Again, the waiting game. And we're going to go through here and we're going to drop down to our site, which is Nutrition Coaching Secrets. I'm going to get rid of this word WordPress over here, if it lets me. Have some coffee first. There we go. Now, for my website title, I want to make sure it matches the best keyword that I ranked for. So I'm going to do maybe, let's see, nutritional coaching, something like this. I might pivot a little and do like become a nutrition coach or even like how to promote. Let's do how to become a nutrition coach. We'll start with that. And then once we get data from where we rank, we'll adjust. Okay, very important that in business you adjust. It's not like you're going to set this up and just get rich. Obviously, you're going to have to adjust. So we're going to go through, create all of this here. Okay, so you could change your username to something a little bit easier, nutrition man or something like that. And then you can change all this other stuff as well. I'm just going to copy this to a safe place. All the database and everything, let's just get rid of those spaces there. Plugin theme, don't need any. Version, current, that's fine. Database, all of this will be automatic. We're going to hit install. And what you'll see is it should change right away on our website. When we go to the site here, it should start to install. Sometimes it takes a minute or two. But I like to have multiple tabs open. That way I'm working in a much better way. So now we have this here. It looks like it did create the site. So we'll go in here and hopefully it'll reload for us. Let's do www. Now on some hosts, you might need to check the caching because the caching will stop you from being able to see what's live. Although this is not actually created yet. It's still in the process, which is probably why it's coming up. There it goes. See how it had the WordPress up there? Starting to make it. Pretty simple. Now, going through like that, that's going to install the WordPress for us with the bare bones stuff. We're going to add to it. We're going to build it up. We're going to make it work in a very, very simple way. Now, while we're waiting on this to load, here we go. We're not going to need this. This will automatically happen. I'm just doing it because I'm completely impatient and I like to see what's going on. So see now it's securing it, so it should fix that HTTP thing. And then we should be able to reload. Okay, so it's going, and hopefully we don't get an error. I don't think we will. Policy updates. Okay, let's see here. Should do the trick once it's done. Sure does take its time, right? Let's do this. We'll go right like that. There we go. So now it is starting to do something. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if it added. And if we get an error, we'll just start over again. It shouldn't be too hard to do. Okay, so now we have this here, nutrition coaching. We should be able to log in. If it doesn't log in, then we know there's an error. Come on now. Let's see if this loaded. There it goes. So we do have WordPress on it. Looking good. And we are logged in. You can see by this top bar, that means we're logged in. Here is the login page. Welcome to your new website. Yay, wonderful. We're ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set up the settings. Okay, so we're going to go settings here. We're going to go general. And of course it wants to be slow. But I guess that's good. Do you guys like it when I go slower rather than faster? Well, let me know. To me, I feel like it's boring when I'm slow. But hey, you know, to each his own. So we'll go through and do this here. General. And okay, how to become a nutrition coach. Nutrition coach. Coaching business secrets. Just like a secondary keyword there. Make sure that's HTTPS. Admin email. I usually just do my name, and then I'll make that email later. Membership, don't need any of that. Everything else looks good. Save. Now I'm going to go to writing. Everything's the same there. Reading, I'm going to do static page, sample page, right, like that. That way our site is structured to make money. Then when we go in and use WordPress and everything and AI, it's going to be a lot better. So homepage, then we're going to do discussion. Don't need anything there. Permalinks is the next one we're going to do. And we're going to go down to custom structure. This is very important because we want to have it our custom structure. Now, this will also be different if your domain ranks for different stuff. So see how this is like slash some stuff, slash some stuff. If it was like .php or .htm or slash something else, we might change that a little bit, okay? And you'll see that with your domain stuff. Usually it'll be pretty clean like this. You could see this was pretty clean. We were able to put the content up, done deal, okay? Very, very simple. Now we're gonna go through and take a look at our settings where they went over here. Where did they go? Here. So we're gonna do custom structure, save, okay? That's gonna make it to where instead of like our post being question mark equals, it's going to be the custom, actually, we're going to do post name, sorry. Post name, save. There we go. Now it took. Now we're ready to go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go to plugins, installed plugins. I'm going to go add plugin, and there's two we're going to add at the get-go. The first one is the classic editor and classic widgets. Both classic, right? Install classic editor right like this. Activate, and then we'll go back. Hopefully it'll save it. There we go. Install classic widgets, install, activate. Simple. Now, what this does is it makes it to where our posts and everything, when we edit, it's using the classic editor, not the Gutenberg. This is what we want because when we use AI, it's a lot easier to work with this versus having to deal with the new fancy blocks and things like that. We want it to be easy. We want to be able to go through and make money. Now, looking at our site, this is what it looks like. See how our sample page is the home URL. It is secure now, so we're good to go. We're pretty much in business. We got a few things we're going to do. First of all, we're going to go through, and I'm going to change the theme. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's see if I can open this here. So this is the blog theme right here. Okay, I think I can find it. Let's see. I think it's on our desktop. So we're going to go desktop, simple blog theme. I'm going to do extract all, and this is going to extract it to our desktop, right, like this. And this is a simple theme you can use. You can use fancy themes if you want. I find simple to be easier. Again, all we're here to do is make money. I don't need it to be pretty. I don't need it to be fancy. I just need it to sell. And from what I've found over the last 25 years, simple sells. The simpler it is, the easier it is for them to find something, the more likely they are to buy. And so we're going to extract this here and we're going to use this simple theme. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our blog theme over here and we are going to make it fancy. Okay, so we're going to use a clean, fast theme and then we're going to put all our plugins and stuff like that. Now, the way we're going to do our theme is we're just going to go down here to images and we're going to open the header, logo, and page. So we're going to do my logo large. I'm going to open it in an image editor, right like this. This is important because we want to make sure that the sizing stays the same. So 450 by 125 is what we want to do. And this is my easy way of doing it. I like to use Snagit. You can use whatever you want. Let's say I have a website about getting more business for and becoming a nutrition coach. It is called Nutrition Coaching Secrets, I think it is. Let's see, what was our domain? Yeah, Nutrition Coaching Secrets. So we'll go like this. It's called Nutrition Coaching Secrets. So we'll do right here. Please make a simple logo white background. Let's see how this works here. It should do a good job, and then we can create the background as well, which will be like the whatever's behind the page. Something subtle. I'm thinking like white with little nutrition things and monies and graphs and stuff. Something not too big of a deal. We want our theme to just kind of be in the background. We don't want it to take over. We don't want it anything crazy. Like on this one here, notice how I just have the white background with the explainer video production up here. Simple, right? That's all we need to do. Nothing too crazy. So I'm going to go through and create this logo. Should take a minute. While we're waiting for that, I can create another one. I could say, now please make a large background for the site. White-based, very subtle, graphs, money, nutrition, stuff, repeating. That way it repeats and it's not like, it's not going to look funny. It'll just repeat. So hopefully this will show up in a minute. Sometimes you have to reload it if you don't want to be patient. There we go. So Nutrition Coaching Secrets. Do I like that one? I don't. More colors and vivid, please. Okay, and we can see what it looks like. It looks like it's being slow today. Let's try Gemini and see how this works. Please make a large background for a site. Site is for nutrition, coaching secrets. Let's see how this does. Might be a little faster. Let's see. We'll stop that and we'll say stop. Okay, why is it being slow? Sometimes these things are slow. Let's do more colors, please. And then we'll wait and see how this background looks. And then we're just going to save it over top of our logo and our page.jpg, JPG or JPEG, one of those. I'll show you how it works in just a second. Again, that's why you want to open it in the editor, edit it, and then throw it back into the other thing. So let's see here. Nutrition coaching. That's okay. Let's see. Let's do subtle colors, no words. And you know what? I want USD only and graphs. It did still have the word, which won't matter because we could put that in the background, but I'm actually not liking that. That's too subtle. Let's see how this one's coming out. We got an apple coming up. That's pretty cool. I like the apple. Yeah, I like this. This will work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my Snagit tool, right like this. I'm going to cut this out. Let's make sure we don't get that little bar coming up. So we'll just click that. And we'll do capture, right like this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rearrange it. Again, don't overthink this. It should not take that much time. It's not that big a deal. The logo is like an afterthought. I'm going to fill this with regular white just to make sure that it is, in fact, regular. There we go. Just get these little spots here. I think I got them all. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a selection, and I'm going to take this part and move it up here. Okay? That way we have a wider format kind of deal right here. Scrunch this over here, and then just make this a little bit longer. So here's our logo. Boop. Done deal. Looking nice. We can fancy it up however you want or shrink it or whatever, right? Very simple. Don't overcomplicate this. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and shrink the apple a little. Right like that. And yes, you do have to do sound effects. Very, very important that you do sound effects while you're building this. Otherwise, you'll end up like me. There we go. There's our logo. Now, I'm going to go image, flatten all. That means it made it to where it's an image. You can't move anything anymore. It's done. Copy. I'm going to put it right on this logo and make sure it fits. So it's close. So what I would do here, let's see. Do I like that? Maybe I'll do it like that. That looks good. Let's move this up a smidge. And you can always control, roll your mouse in, and then that'll give you a little bit more leverage like that. So now we're going to do File, Save. Make sure you save it. It'll save over top of it. Then I'm going to save it over top of My Logo Regular as well. So we'll go into Images, My Logo right here. Yes, and we're good. Now, we should be able to go in here, and if we do View, Thumbnails or something like that, icons, you should see them change. See how they're changed there? Now we're going to change the background, which is this one. So we'll just do Open With, Open With, Open With, Open With. Where's that at? There we go. Open with Snagit, right like this. Okay, and this is a giant background. So we're just going to go ahead and see how it did with the background. I did not like what Google came up with, so I'm just going to throw this in here. Same site. Please make a large background. Let's see how this does. Okay, here we go. Is going. And should do a good job of making a big one, hopefully. All right, it's going. We'll have some coffee while we wait. Okay, come on now. And so now we have our plugins and everything ready to go. I'm going to put some other plugins as well. And to do caching, which is important, when you do the caching, you want to make sure that your site is not caching because otherwise it's going to be very difficult to manage. So we're going to go into cPanel like this, and then I'm just going to type cache manager, and I'm going to make sure on our new site, which is, where did it go? Nutrition coaching. I'm going to go options, no caching, no, save. That means when we change something, it'll show up instantly instead of showing the old version, which will drive you up the wall. This will save you a lot of trouble because you'll be like, why isn't my site changing? Because it's caching. They do that because if you get a bunch of traffic, it costs a lot of bandwidth and money to do that for them, not us. So that's why they do it. We're just going to turn it off. If you get a bunch of traffic later and you're not making changes, switch it back on. You'll be fine. Now, let's see how our background's looking. I like it. This is exactly what I wanted. So we're going to go, I'm going to download this right here. I'm going to drag it onto my Snagit. Drag it to Snagit. There you go. Sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Drag it to Snagit. All right, so now we have this here. Excellent. File, save. Now, watch how easy this is. This is like literally we are ready to be in business now. Page, my logo large are good to go. Again, if you want to use a fancy theme, you could use something like a Nice Page or one of those other fancy ones. I find that Nice Page is about as fancy as I get because it allows me to customize stuff. However, using this theme, if you're just starting out, use a simple theme, get your stuff going, get ranking. We'll call this Nutrition Coaching Secrets Theme, NCS theme, just so I know what it is. I'm the only person who needs to know that. We're going to go in and do our WordPress, and I'm going to do Appearance Themes, Add Theme, and I'll do Upload, Choose File, and it should be right in here, NCS Theme, Install, and drum roll please, Activate. There we go. Now, let's take a look at what it looks like. Here's our page. Now we have, there's our background. Here's our logo at the bottom with our important links and stuff like that. So now we're in business. Right now I could go through and start building this out. First thing I would want to do if I'm buying an expired domain or an auction domain is fill in the pages that it did have. So like I would go through and be like, okay, I need to fill this in because it did actually have that as a page. So I would just go in and let's do pages, add a page, and then what I can do is I could just call this like get the guide because it was an opt-in, so it doesn't really matter. If it had a keyword that it ranked for, I would want to tie that in. So like I could put nutritional coaching institute cost. So that could be the one I use, because if I want to rank for it, that would probably help. So we'll do this. And then see how it gives you this link here? I'm just going to edit it and make it match what it was. There we go. So right like this. Where do we go? And if you're doing a new domain, you don't need to do any of this. Like I would just build this out new. It didn't have a whole lot with it, but you know, we might as well build it up. So we're going to hit edit. Zoop. Okay. Publish. I can put the content later. And if I did it right, I should be able to click this and see that. Ta-da, there we go. Pretty cool, right? Then I could go through and use AI and build the content and start building things like that. So now I have this site that's the shell of the site that's ready to go. There's a couple other plugins I want to add. One is an image adder, which makes it to where, like right now, if I go in here, if I wanted to do content like fast and think and build, I would have to add media to add an image and stuff like that. So we actually made a plugin. I will have it for you at aiprofitscoop.com in the notes with this video and everything like that. It's a plugin that I developed. Where is it? Over here, where we're going to go, plugins, add plugin, and I believe it was called WP City Snag, something like that. Let's see. Clippy? It might have been Clippy. I think it was, let's see, under here, WP City Snag. I think it's this one here. Let's just give it a whirl. And if this works properly, I should be able to take whatever is in my clipboard and paste it in. So like, let's say I wanted to take this robot, copy, and I should be able to just toss this right over there in a post. So let's see, post, add new, or let's just do all. Edit. Now I should be able to go to visual, Control V, uploads image. Boom, we're in business. I like it. There's some other plugins you can use as you go along. We're just going to go bare bones. Now, remember, using WordPress, if I just wanted to test out a sales thing, I could put a PayPal link here, see if people will buy it. This is where people get stuck, is they try to make this elaborate funnel before they get one visitor. And they're like, yeah, you made a good funnel, but you have no one to give the funnel to, therefore you're not going to make money. That's why you're struggling. And you're going to get so much more discouraged because you spent all this time making this elaborate thing and learning this software that now you have to pay for. That's not, in my opinion, the best way to run a business. I want to run bare bones, really easy. I want to get that first customer and build and grow from there. That's how I've built all of my businesses, by starting small. I want something easy. I don't want to have to go to a programmer and ask him stuff. I don't want to deal with things. I just want it easy. And that's why using GoHub Site for hosting and WordPress is so important. Now, when we go through with WordPress, this is where we're going to look at, like, how do we build it up and how do we make it work? Again, understanding how to make content, what the content's for, and what we're doing is key. Because what we're going to do is we're going to have a loop. The loop is very important because we're going to go through and we are going to create content. We are going to repurpose that content. So maybe you make a video, maybe you make an article, or whatever it is, and you're going to lead them back, like I'm doing here. What am I doing? I'm saying go over to aiprofitscoop.com to get notes from this video. Over at aiprofitscoop.com, this is a WordPress page. It looks terrible. You guys are probably like, this is terrible. I tested this. I had a fancy page. We got less people to opt in. The ugly page works. I don't know. It just does. So looking at that, it just works really well. And this is on a WordPress platform and it works really well. And they can actually order. Like they click here, they go to the order page. You can have membership sites. You can have everything all in one platform. In fact, I run 7-figure membership sites and they're on a it's $149 software that it runs on. $149 a month? No. $149 a year? No. $149 one time. And I use it for tons of these and it works really, really well. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start making content to attract people in. So if I could go out there and find nutrition coaches on Facebook, find what they watch on YouTube, find what they're into. I mean, you could go out there and you can find these people using AI. Let's do nutrition coach marketing, something like this. And we could see, okay, yeah, look, there you go. Look at this. Super solid. This is something that lots of people are looking up. It works extremely well. How to make more money as a nutrition coach, attract more clients. This is a market we could get into and work really, really well. So now what I would do is I would go through, I'd use my keyword tools. If you can't afford a keyword tool, use AI alongside a keyword tool. Go out there and use AI and say, hey, now what are some good keywords and content I can make to attract nutrition coaches who want more business? And if you think this is a small subsect of a market, this is how I got introduced to marketing. Years ago when I was a magician, I was in the Magic magazine and there was an ad saying, hey, get more business for your magic business. And I called him up and bought his course and got really good at getting business, which is cool. So now we can see here's a bunch of keywords we can use. And if you're doing this on the cheap, just use a free keyword tool. You can use SpyFu to get an idea of what your market's like, right, like this. And you can put your keyword in like this. Or you can use Ahrefs free keyword tool, right, like this. So we'll go right here and we can put that in, see what's going on. It'll get you by until you can afford to buy one, although I think they do have cheaper ones. So we could see here, not much traffic there, but that would be good for the search engines to see. Maybe we could do like nutrition coaching clients or something like that. Something like this, right? So again, we're looking at there is money in that market. So using your AI and understanding how to make this would be key. Okay, content ideas, ultimate guide, how to get more nutrition coaching clients online and offline, 10 proven marketing strategies for nutrition coaches, things like this. So we could go through and think different. Like I would go through now, how about for each platform, like TikTok, and on we go. So we can go through and see this, which is really cool. And let's see what we got here. It's going. Okay, so now we got 3 ways I got nutrition coaches this month. Stop doing this if you want more coaching. Okay, it does okay. Instagram, how about on the platform? Like 5 ways to get nutrition coaching clients on TikTok or whatever. I'm thinking that because then we can go through and do all kinds of stuff. And this will attract people. Like if you have a strategy that's so focused on helping nutrition coaches get their certification, learn how to get more business, and you really just are in it to win it, and you're like, I'm going to learn everything I can about this using AI, which makes it easier. Now I can go out there and build this in a simple way. Now, is this nutrition site going to make me $1 million? Probably not. Could someone go out there and make a decent living with it? I think so. I think there's enough traffic and enough people to make it work. Again, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. Most people make nothing because most people don't even get this far. So understanding that, hey, you're getting far, you're learning this stuff, it's working. We can go through and do this. Now, what we're going to need is we're going to need a strategy where our content is going to promote more of our content. So as we go through, we are going to have our site here. Here's our website. On our homepage, I'm going to show you how to make an opt-in page so that they can put their name and email, just like I have on AI Profit Scoop. And all of your content is going to be geared to giving away this free thing. Maybe you're giving away a blog post set or a social media template set. What you want to do is you want to have something they are going to want. And all of your stuff is going to point to this, right? Very, very important. Using AI, you could do this in a very, very strategic way. So we're going to go through and say, now come up with 25, let's say, posts I can use on Facebook or Insta that would help nutrition coaches get more business. And this is going to funnel them all back. The idea is funnel everyone back, get that mailing list, promote other stuff, and make it work. Now we want, okay, no, we don't want this. For nutrition coaches, not the people Let's see how that works. Now, while that's going, let's go ahead and take a look at our site here. So behind the scenes, day in the life, client win, coach shout out. So there is some stuff here that would work. Maybe, so why work with a nutrition coach? That could be a good one. Like I can make a giveaway that I could give to the nutrition coaches that they could give away to get more people, right? Like, hey, use this to get more clients. Thinking about the market differently is where this is going to come in. So let's go ahead and set up for our main page. So our main page here is going to be for the giveaway. So we're going to let's do get more nutrition coaching clients fast. There we go. Boom. We're going to delete all this, update, make sure that it updates. Look at how it looks. Okay, good. We're going to get rid of the sidebar stuff over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings, or I'm going to go to appearance, widgets, right, like that. We're going to get rid of all these widgets here. We don't need those. Make sure there's no others lurking in these other spots. There we go. There's some there. Boop. And there we go. That should take care of it. So now if I go to the main site, no widgets. Good. Now I'm going to go through, and in the simple blog theme that you're going to get, there was a file, or is a file, right? That file is called aweber.txt. What I did is I took the liberty of taking the Aweber code and actually making it so you could just copy and paste it. Now, Aweber is something you will have to pay extra for, but I think they have a trial, I believe, don't quote me on it. I think they have a trial for the first 500 people. So like 500, if you get less than 500 people on your list, I think it's free. It might have changed, but you can check that out. Either way, it's pretty inexpensive, and you don't need it just yet. Like, wait till you get customers. So what we're going to do is we're going to paste the code in like this. That is going to add our headline and our free report stuff, okay? Now, watch this. This is where AI is going to shine. We're going to take this, and I'm going to say ChatGPT, or we could use Gemini. Let's use ChatGPT. I am making this. I want to attract and make a giveaway that helps nutrition coaches, thank God it checks our spelling, right? Coaches get more business. Please make the image and hard-hitting text to reel them in. Okay, so let's see. It should read the page and do everything for me, which will be pretty cool. Okay, so giveaway book, wide format, bright, good, graphics, whatever. Free client getting kit. I like that. So image prompt. It gives me the prompt. Here's the text. Okay, so we'll do the prompt here. I'll just open a new ChatGPT right like this. And boom. Let's see how this works. White background. So it knew all that. Like, it just gave it to me right there. All I did is give it the link, which is cool. Also, this is going to allow us, like, it can make inline pop-ups. It can make counters. It can make tools they can use, all kinds of stuff. And we'll get into this in a little bit. If you're enjoying this video, smash the like button. Let me know as a comment below. Again, it's very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. The problem is everyone's overcomplicating this stuff, which just makes it ridiculously difficult. So what we're going to do is edit this. Let's see how our text looks. Get more clients, earn more, change more lives. Okay, so we'll go here, right over here, edit. I'm going to put get more coaching clients. So let's see, headline goes here. Get more coaching, nutrition, coaching clients, earn more, change more lives. Let's see how that looks. Now, I will tell you, I am a complete pain about the text lineup. Let me show you why. If we go here like this, watch how this looks. Looks terrible. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go Shift Enter. That should fix that part. Didn't. Let's do another Enter. If it doesn't, I would actually make it an image. A lot of people don't realize it. Like, they'll sit here all day trying to make this look good instead of just make it an image. Like, it's not that hard to do. I could go in here, and this is where our plugin's going to come in handy. I can go in here, File New, New Image. We'll just do like this. Zoop, shrink it up, get some text, paste that text in, make it no border. make it red. And we could even do like a darker red if we want. So get more clients, earn more. Let's do earn more, change more lives. Okay, so we'll make it a little bit bigger, or we could just shrink the text down a little. There we go. Earn more, get more clients, earn more, change more lives, ... Cool. So now, instead of messing around with that, and one of the cool things about this too, is if you use image as a text, it's not going to affect your SEO, right? So like I can have a million of these images, it'd just be like, hey, it's just an image. It's not going to affect the SEO as much. So now I'll just go in here, edit, instead of the headline, copy and paste that image there. Oh, looks like, where did it go? Down here. Okay, so we'll just put that up here, and I just copied and pasted it. Update, make sure it looks good, because sometimes it'll be kind of funny. See how it's too big? Just shrink it down. Like, this is so much easier than dealing with all the other fancy programs out there, and I can have a site up and ready to earn way faster than most other people. Get more clients, earn more, change more lives. Great. What was the next text it gave me? Hey, that's cool. I like this. That's really cool. So we could just copy. I think our plugin should know. Let's try it. I have never tried it for this, so we'll see if it'll just copy and paste it here. Did. Nice. I love that plugin. By the way, that plugin was created with ChatGPT. And if you like it, I'll give you that plugin over at AIProfitScoop.com. So there we have our report, free toolkit. Or let's see what it gave me. I think it gave me stuff. So, are you a nutrition coach? Blah, 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 blah. Great. Copy that. Make sure it looks good. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this here. Are you a nutrition coach struggling to get more clients and grow your business? It's time to change that fast. Claim your free nutrition coaching secrets client getting kit here and discover. So we'll make this big and bold. And proven strategies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, we can get rid of the bullet points. Don't need those. I think there's a way to get rid of these tables. And watch, this is where AI like shines. I could go like this, and I could give it the code. So I'll go like this. I'll go to ChatGPT, and I'm just going to give it this thing. So I'll say, let's copy the thing here. I have this, and I don't want the blank table spots on top. Boom, boom, boom. Here is the code. Please change it. So this should go through and change our code. I'm going to get it the code here. Where did it go? Here we go. So we'll just go code, copy, boom. Watch, it'll just change it in seconds. It's so fast. Well, of course, when I say it's fast, it takes literally 3 seconds. But going through like this is pretty cool. I'll just wait for it to load. And let's see. Actually, you know what? I might need to save it because that's actually taking that image. So I'll go ahead and save the one with the image. Update. That way it locks that image in. See how it changes the image? I think it did. Or it does do some user content. Interesting. I don't know how it does that, but some kind of WordPress thing. So now going through and looking at that, it should do the trick. Here's our code. And then all you're going to do is change this to your Aweber list name, and then you'll change your thank you post to whatever your poster page is. Okay? So once this is done, I'll show you how that works. And then the thank you post is where we're going to go for like the sale or something. So we'll copy this, go in here, boop, save, update. That should have done it. Yep, it removed those, so now I can back that up a bit. So we'll just do edit. I'm probably going to make this font a little bit bigger. Let's go heading 3. And then I could probably switch it up a little bit like that. Claim you're free. I'm going to make this red just so it stands out and looks good. Proven strategy. Stop guessing. Start growing. This free kit will show you exactly what's working. Good. Claim your kit. Excellent. Then back all this up. So that's right there. There we go. Maybe one more. There we go. So now it's going to look a lot better and has a little pre-sales page. So get more nutrition coaching clients fast, get more clients, earn more, change more lives. Got the arrows, nutrition coaching secrets, 100% built by AI. Are you a nutrition coach? Okay, so this, I don't like it all red. It's way too much red. So I am going to change these to black, change this to black. That should override the setting there. Let's see. Yes, cool. And it's very clean and easy looking. I could even put these arrows again just to kind of keep them flowing. So I'll put those again right here. Boom, done deal. Then if I want to go through and change the Aweber list name, I would just put whatever my list name is in here. And it should work. I mean, double check your settings here, but it should work when you do that. And then we're going to have our thank you post as well. So that'll go there. Now, when we make our thank you post, I believe we have a template for that one as well. Let's see here. So there's that. Then what's going to happen is they're going to put their name and email in. They go on our list, and then they get our post. Okay, so the thank you post, we just do dashboard. I'm going to do a page. That way I have more control over it. And I would do thank you for subscribing. Okay, and then I would put something in here like hi, welcome, or whatever. Now I can even have AI do this where I'm like, now make a thank you post content after they opt in, telling them my email, what to expect, and to check their email for the guide. Also, some related quick tips and offers. Okay, so let's see this here. Maybe you could have like, oh, hey, you know, sign up for web hosting and get a site for your nutrition coaching guide. So now we have this. See how it's doing really good? What to expect next. Quick tips. And this is where you could put, like if you're doing affiliate marketing, you would put your affiliate offers. So here we have all this. And we would go through. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure you're in visual. Put that in there. Now we have our thank you post. Very simple, right? Looks nice. You can fancy it up as you want to go through. Now, what I usually do is the quick tips would be like for those that want to sign up, or maybe give them a free consultation for their area. Something very simple where it's like, okay, you're going to go here. This is what you're going to get. Now, once you have these two things set up, your opt-in and your thank you page, now you can drive traffic to it. And the way we're going to drive traffic is just start making posts based on what people want. We want to make good stuff. So I could go through and say, okay, I see a lot about certification stuff. I go here, I'd say, tell me about USA Nutrition Coach certification. Good thing it spell checks, right? So we're going to go through and see this here, and then we'll turn this into a good piece of content. What I want to do is think about what's going to help them and think about, okay, are there different options and different prices? Now make a table about the different prices and options and places that certify and what they do. And what we're going to do is we're going to start to build content about this. Obviously, you want to check plagiarism and stuff like that. But usually it's pretty good. Like I would go to Grammarly and check plagiarism, and then I'm going to turn this into a video. I'm going to turn it into social media posts that lead back to the post with the stuff on it. Let me show you how it works. It's actually very simple. It's a process I use all the time. So we'll go like this. What is a nutrition coach? Great, great, great. Let's get our table here as well. So let's say this was good enough. It's probably not. I would want to go through, tweak it, make it better, make sure there's no plagiarism or anything like that, make sure it's not too AI soundy, and then I could go and do this. We'll delete these guys here. You could put the references at the bottom if you want. So we'll just do like this. And then you can have it write the references at the bottom, which would be simple. And then the cool part about this is you could have it create the HTML. So this one, 6% plagiarism. We would want to probably fix that up. Like I wouldn't want that much, 7% now. I would want to back that down, like this kind of stuff, these big things, text matches, so I'd want to change some of it where applicable, okay? And the way that you're going to get a better content is by learning yourself. Like I want to be curious about how this stuff works. Maybe say, now what can the average coach expect to earn? Have disclaimer. Right, like this. Right, so now I could start building this content that'll lead people back, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it make that guide, which will be really cool, and the guide is going to be on everything leading back to the main page. So now we can see here average annual salary, average hourly rate. So this is for nutrition coaches. And then I can even say, now turn all this into a highly engaging blog post. Post the HTML here so I can copy and paste it. Okay, so we're going to turn all of this into a big article. And let's see what it does. How to become a nutrition coach, facts, whatever. Okay, so there's our title. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to match the title to a keyword. So how to become, this would actually be a pretty good one. So let's go to the one we had, which was all pages, nutrition coaching. I think that was that one. Did I have one for how to become? I don't think I did. So we'll just make our own new one. So I'll just go over here and go to our WordPress over here. I'm going to do this as a post because posts tend to get picked up in Google quicker. So I'll do how to become a nutrition coach and make a living or something like that. Very simple, okay? Or just nutrition coach like this, okay? Now, once this is done, the cool thing is it's actually going to format it for us. Okay, so it's actually writing the format. I don't think it has any weird coding in it. I'd probably just start it here. I'm going to start here. And let's just see how it looks. So we'll go like that and see how it looks. We'll go code, since we're doing code. Visual. Okay, so it did pretty good. How to become a nutrition coach in the USA. Certification cost and earning potential. Good. There's our certification stuff. How to choose. This is pretty good. Now, what I'm going to do, instead of got questions, you could do that if you want to get comments and engagement. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the content, the image here, and maybe I'll have like a startup guide. So now we have, let's see here. Okay, looks like our image is being a little, there it goes. So this here, nutrition coaching secrets, let's go back to our image. Okay, here. Now make an image for the how to become a coach kit. And this kind of thing you can make with AI. You can make a simple coach for them or a coach kit for them. And then just drive traffic to it and boom, there you go. Now, once we go through, what we want to do is we want to make sure that like our SEO content and our articles that we're driving people to actually have that link where they can get the guide. So I would go through and I'd actually make another one with the guide. So here we have this here. And then I can say now make an opt-in page for the guide as well. That way the people that come to the guide stuff are getting the guide. The people that come to the get more business stuff are getting the more business, and they're going to different places. Now you can use the same Aweber for that. You can just have either a different list, or you could use the same list and just funnel them the same thing, because it's similar enough to where I would probably be okay with the same list on this one. I don't think you'd need to go too far out to make it work. So how to become a coach. Come on. It's going. It's going slowly, but it's going. And then we should be able to do that. Focus on nutrition coach. Okay. And then we'll have it make the starter content for it as well. But see how we're like using this to make the content and everything like that? And then we can go through and even add other things. Like if I wanted to go through and say, how much is the nutrition coaching industry in the USA worth? So watch what I'm going to do here. This is going to be something really cool. And we can embed this in our WordPress as well. Okay, so this is going to do worth a significant amount. Figures are limited. So 7 billion, about 10 billion here. So let's say, let's focus. Oh, so it's 17 billion, global health coaching market. Okay, so let's go with 17 billion. Now make a count up since page loaded tool showing how much they earn, counting up every second or so based on the amount per second. So you could be like, oh, hey, since you opened this page, nutrition coaches have made 900 grand or whatever it is, right? Obviously check the math and everything, but now we have this here. Now make it so it will work on a WordPress post. So now we have this here, which will do all the math. And let's see here, revenue per second, so 539 per second. Did all the math, pretty cool. And now we'll do this. Now make it so it'll work on a WordPress post. And it should do the trick. And see how we're thinking different? Like, oh, hey, this is going to be cool. I can come here and see that thing counting up. Oh, hey, there's money here. Excellent. So you're going to go in and see all this stuff work really, really well. And I can put this in our post. So copy. Let's go to our post over here. This one. So this one here. And I'll put, let's just put the code in, see what it looks like. We're just going to edit that because that's just a blank spot. Update. Okay, did not work. So we go back and say we got an error or something. Let's see here. Did screw it up a little bit. Edit. Okay. So it'd say WordPress said not acceptable. Let's see if it'll fix it. It should usually fix it pretty good. Custom HTML block. This is in classic editor. Okay, if it doesn't work, then we could just upload it somewhere else. So let's do this. Make it work there. Let's see if it'll do this. It should. If not, we just iframe it, which would be simple. So like you can have it on a different page and call that page. That's what I do on my GoDaddy estimator tool. So like here, people come in from Google, and this is actually iframe the tool in there. So you could do that. That's pretty simple. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit. Let's see if this wants to work. Place the counter. Plugins, add new, insert headers and footers. So that would be a little too complicated. Okay, just make it an HTML page I can iframe. Minimal style. So if I wanted to do this, since I have my cPanel open anyway, I just go into my cPanel, go into File Manager, right over here. Go into the site. So the site is, where did we go? It is called Nutrition Coaching Secrets. Here we go. Right like this. And if you're doing something where you're like selling on TikTok or something, all you would need is like a simple sales page with a PayPal or a Stripe button or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go new folder. I'll call this counter. Create new folder. Go to counter. See what it came up with here. So here's our code. Okay, so using WordPress, here's our style. Copy. Go over here, wherever it is. And we'll do new file. Index.html or PHP or HTML or whatever. Actually, make sure it's called index. Rename index. Index. There we go. That way it shows up on the main one. Edit. Paste in our code. Save. Now we should have Nutrition Coaching Secrets / counter, and it should show up if we did index. There we go. Nice. So now we have this here. Looking good. I can iframe it, so we'll just use the iframe code here, and we will replace with this. So we'll just do boop, right like that, and we're going to replace it with our link over here. Boom. And don't worry if you guys are lost. We got notes, but just try to follow along the best you can. I think that'll work. So we'll do right here. That should embed it in our post. Ta-da, there we go. So now we have that there, okay? And again, I would, since it screwed it up, I would have to go back and add back in that how to become a coach stuff, wherever it went. I think it was up here somewhere. There it is. Is this it? Top paying markets. Yeah, this is it. So now make our article nice and formatted here, not in a code box. Let's see how this does. Drink some coffee. And if you guys like this and want more long tutorial videos like this, let me know in the box below. Lose all the code. Just paste it here. See how it has a code? We don't want that. So we're just going to do like this. Okay, there we go. How to become a nutrition coach. Excellent. What does a coach do? What are the programs? Good. This is actually a really good article, and hopefully it has our table. If not, we can add that in later. How much do they make? This is a pretty good article. This will probably be really good for plagiarism and stuff like that. How big is the industry? Looks good. Add a part for requirements. Okay, so we have this here. Got questions, drop this. So now we'll just do like this, and then we will start adding to it. Looking at your article of like, okay, how do I make this really good? So got our iframe here. That's going to show up here. We can size it however you want. The sizing, you just do like 180 or whatever. You can make it big if you want. We're going to put this in here. There's our post. So now we have nutrition coaching revenue in the USA. Now let's do, with our tool, you could kind of mess around with it a little to see if we can change the coloring and the sizing. Background, if I wanted it all white, I'd just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 Fs, I think, is white. I'm pretty sure. Let's double check it. So it should make that white. Okay, I made that part white, I think. Let's check the next one. And then what I usually like to do is move this over here so I don't have to like do the tab dance. Counter box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Save. There we go. Nice. So now it's like that. I'm going to do edit, and I'm going to do, instead of 180 or 380 wide, I'm going to do like 600. See if it'll make that the words better. And see how that's like, that's valuable to people who want to be coaches. That's pretty cool. So it didn't do the words, so that's probably something in my page. So I would do, let's see, width. Is there anything about the width? Div class counterbox. There we go, max width, 600. And you just kind of mess around with this stuff, makes it pretty easy. You can see like the padding would be like how far away it is. So nutrition coaching industry revenue in the USA since you load this page. Good. So I would go through if I wanted to fancy this up, which I kind of do. Like I want this to look good, right? I would go through and I'd make the iframe centered. And again, I don't know how to do this really well, so I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and say, force center this for WordPress. And it'll force center it for us. There we go. Copy. And we'll just replace that. Copy, replace. Make sure you only copy and only replace what you want copied and replaced. That looks pretty cool. I'm liking this. Nutrition coaching industry revenue in the USA since you loaded this page. How to become the coach. Now, as we go through, remember how I created that guide for this one that's clearly not wanting to work? How to become a coach. It's decent. Make it better. More for nutrition and average earnings. Average earnings in the orange circle on the right. Let's see if it fixes that. Because I want this to be good. This is going to be like our advertisement where we're going to get people back to our other stuff. Let's see. And again, like using WordPress and AI is a match made in heaven. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. And then also you can use, like you can make little calculators and stuff, like a little nutrition thing, something like that. What does a nutrition coach do? Let's, like you could go through and say now, well, let's do the part for requirements. And then I'll say, now let's make some tools that would help them, like what to charge tool, calculator, ECT. And let's see what it comes up with. And this will literally help us build the whole thing, which is cool. And this here, I can add the part of the requirements, which is just right here, and say, you know, put this in an image or a Johnson box. And this kind of thing here, we can go through and we can go to ChatGPT and have it create, please create a social post image for this. Boom. That's something I can do, which is really cool. Description for the image. I think because I'm in 4.1, it's not doing the image. Oh, generate. Okay, generate it. Let's see. And then while we're waiting for that, the cool thing is like, that's cool. Look at that. I like this. I could just put this on social media and say, get the free guide here. So now have, actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it on my own. Copy image. I'm going to use Snagit, right, like this. File new image, boom. So this is really big. I don't need it that big. I'll just go like this. 865, that's probably fine. And then I can probably see how that's like a little different color. We could make the whole thing that color, or we could make it all white. This is fine. So I'm going to do like this. I'm going to make a big button right here. I'm going to make it button looking. That's a real word, button looking, all right? Button looking, here we go. We'll do, let's do green like this. Do a black background like that. Download your kit. Boom. Let's make this white, will probably look good. Yeah, that looks nice. Download your kit. That's good. So now I can copy this I can put this within my content, right? So here's our content here. We don't want it called Hello World. We'll do nutrition, become a nutrition coach today. Boom. It's like that. We'll go visual. I'm going to change this to nutrition coach. Okay, good. Update. Excellent. Now, I'm going to do right in here, let's put our guide. And it's going to throw it down at the bottom. It should. Hopefully. Let's try it again. Maybe I need to copy it again. Copy. There it is. Okay, I'm just impatient. We're going to center this and make sure it looks good. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to have them go back to this opt-in in a new tab. So everywhere this is, it's going to custom URL, boom, advanced, new tab. So everywhere I have this is going to send them back to getting the guide. Yep, did it do it right? Copy that. It's going to send them back to the guide. Boom, there we go. So now we have it a couple times on the page. Watch what it looks like. So now we got become a nutrition coach today. Download your kit. Now I'm super picky on this, so I am going to make that the same color. This is stuff that I'm picky on because I know it works. So I'm just going to take that there. I'm going to get our guide here. Okay, and I'm going to take it in a capture. That way it's its standalone image. Boop, all right, like that. Copy. I'm going to fill, white, boom, looks good. Copy that, fill that white, put this in here. And I can just Control Shift B. We'll send that back to the back. I'm going to scoot it up. Looks good. Copy all. Now watch the difference. It is going to look better. And these are the things I'm picky about. I'm not picky about like fancy doodads and spinny things. I'm picky about content that converts. So let's add that link in again. So they're going back to the home page. Open link in a new tab. Custom. Boom. Update. We'll copy this whole thing again, put it throughout our page a few times. And we're going to put this on posts and pages and pretty much everywhere that people are going to come. That's where we want this. Okay, and you don't want to overdo it. You just want it to look nice. Right? So maybe like 2 or 3. We'll put one up here, you know, like right here, make it like visually stimulated. And you can have like other images too. What you want to do is focus on good stuff these people are actually going to want. Okay. Let's get comfortable here. We're diving in. We're on like hour number 2 here, so hopefully you guys like this. So now we have this here, become a nutrition coach today. I would make this font bigger. That would be just me. Again, I could do that at the code level. If I don't know how to do it, just ask ChatGPT, say, hey, dude, you know, make this better or do that or whatever, and it will. But sometimes you can find it here like div class label. So wherever the label is, I think it's one of these somewhere. HTML body, background, counter box, padding. Doesn't say anything about the text, but I could go through and I could just be like, okay. So it'd be nutrition coaching industry revenue in the US since you loaded this page. So I can make that bigger and a different color. So chat, make the text bigger and red, and the counter text blue. And then all I would do is copy and paste it over top of it. And then as we get our codes and stuff, like our tools that we can give these people, so now we can see font size. There it is. Nice. So now we'll just take this here. There we go. Copy and paste. That it'll change it everywhere because it's an iframe. There we go. A little too big. If it's too big, we just change the frame size. So now we'll go, instead of 180 tall, we'll do like 400, see if that works. Not 4,000, that'd be way too big. This should do the trick. There, nice. So now we're looking good. Nutrition, coaching, industry revenue in the US since you loaded this page. I like it. That's pretty cool. You could even, have a different color in the background if you wanted. I think that might look good, like if we did gray or something. But again, you can play around with that. But see how that's pretty cool? Like we're getting a piece of content that's actually pretty solid. Now we're going to go through, see if it had the other stuff. See, there's our post. Lead them back to the opt-in. There we go. No dietitian license required. English, blah, blah, blah. Have something say nutrition, or to become a nutrition coach, and also the average earnings. And this is going to make posts for us. It's really good. Now we're going through, and we also have like tools. I think we created a tool in one of these, I believe. Let's see. Did we? Maybe not yet. Let's see, maybe over here. Custom HTML block. That's the counter. Okay. Did we have one over here? Maybe it's over here somewhere. All right, we'll have to make a new one. So while we're waiting for this, let's do now. Oh, I put it in here. I got to hit enter. There you go, right? You got to keep track of all this. And notice how like in the last 3 hours, even though most of it was like designing the site, notice how we're getting actual work done on getting clients something they'll want, right? And then I could just funnel them in and be like, email me, I'll give you a consult on your business. I could sell them a website, sell them courses, whatever, all kinds of stuff. So nutrition coach pricing calculator, good. Now, let's see. Well, let's just start with number one. Start with number one. And now, because you have your site up, we can have it branded, right? So we're like, oh, here's our logo. Open in a new tab. Now this is our logo. I could say brand the tool. So now we got this. Now brand with my logo at top and a disclaimer at bottom. So now it'll do this, big city, hourly plus 15. Nice, okay. This is pretty cool. So now we'll go through and do this. Here's our pricing calculator. And as we're going, we could just start adding these. This is why WordPress is better, because you can't do this stuff with the other things, right? Like ClickFunnels and stuff, you can't add this kind of code. WordPress allows us to because we're using regular hosting, which pretty much allows us to do whatever we want. Let's call this price calc.html. Should work in HTML. Most of them will. Sometimes you have to do PHP if it's something dynamic. So we'll just retry it here. Pricing calculator.html. And that name doesn't matter. The only time a name would matter is if you're doing multiple files. So I think this will be okay. And then we could even make one that's like search for groups and funnels. And you watch, this is going to get big. And this is how you go into a market and dominate it. So we're going to go like this. And then I'm going to make a note. Now let's make one that searches for Facebook groups, Reddits, and other things in their local area where they can find clients. Okay, so now we have this one. Looks like it's done. So we'll copy that, start this one, go to here, and price calc, edit, save, and then we'll just do, what was it? Nutrition / counter price calc.html, I think it was. Yeah, so check this out. I mean, now we got nutrition coach pricing calculator, years of experience, 1. Type of coaching, one-on-one. Average, major city, high income area. Certifications, there you go, typical monthly package. This is pretty solid. right? Now we're getting stuff that's like, hey, now I have things I can offer to these people. Now watch, we'll just go through and make some more. So here we got Facebook group, stuff like that. So each links, simple branded tool lets them, nice, I like this. So let's copy this and we'll go to our thing here. We'll just do new file and we'll do, was it pricing or was it? Oh, clients, find clients.html. Create new file, find clients, edit. And all of these you can link to or iframe. And sometimes if you're using like a sidebar, if you use the Funnel Voodoo plugin, which we have in our courses, I don't have a free version, but I think I can show you how to do this in an easy way. I think there is a way to do it with the new one. So let's do this here. And this was called find clients. Find clients.html. Nice. So enter your city. Los Angeles. Show community links. Okay. Doesn't seem to be working. So we'll just ask it, hey, that looks nice. See how we're just like going and building and growing? This is what we call hyper work that'll get you further. We don't want to just do endless blog posts and stuff. So now we have to use, save as this. Okay, so do we need multiple files? No. Nothing happens on search. Click. Click. Click, if I could spell right. So we'll do like this. It should fix it, and then we can add it. Now, when going through, if we wanted to add this to a post or a page in a sidebar, we could do that. Although the iframe, now that we have the iframe here, like you just literally copy this iframe and we do, like you can do add a new post. Let's call this like pricing calculator. And I mean, it works like crazy. We just put this in a code. Then you would just take the link to that one. So like the find clients is here, but let's say we wanted the price calc. I'm just going to go through and do this here. So pricing calc, replace that. Now this one's bigger. So I'm going to do like 400 wide by like 800. See if it works. Just publish it here. Pricing calculator, boom. Nice. That looks pretty cool. I'm digging it. And it works, see? Edits it there. So now I'm going to go through and I'm going to be like, okay, here's our button. So here's the other one. Let's test this. Again, multitasking is key. Find clients, replace. Does it work? Boom. Dallas, Texas, show. Nice. I love this. This is cool. And it's going to go through and it'll find it. This is so cool. Like, see how helpful this is? Like, goes through. There it goes. There's all the stuff. Here's Google for Forums. I mean, do you guys see how this is like, we are tackling this niche in a way that other people don't even try to do. Now I'm going to go through. So now that works. Now let's do an article. So I'm going to save this, download. And I would save all this in a folder and just start dominating this market. Now let's make an article, 3,000-ish words on how to price your services as a nutrition coach. Include tables and other things. Let's see here. This should do the trick. And then getting traffic, again, we're going to use social media posts. We can make videos on YouTube about, hey, here's how to price your services as a nutrition coach. So now we're going to add this with our calculator, right? So here's our calculator. And we could do how to price your nutrition coach services, coaching, how to services. Okay, now, as a bonus, I'm going to go over to Ahrefs and see if we can find something for like charge nutrition coach. Okay, how much to charge, price nutrition coach. Charge looks like how much to charge as a nutrition coach. I'm going to go with that. see where it ranks, and then once it ranks, I'll dial it into where the traffic is. Now, another tip you can do is do how much to charge as a nutrition coach. Take some of the results, like maybe this one here for Reddit, put that in here as a site and see what they rank for. Because sometimes you'll see, oh, hey, they have a word I didn't think of, and they do. Personal nutrition, how much is a nutrition? How much does it cost? Average cost, how much do they charge? Okay, cost of nutrition coaching, weight loss coach salary, personal trainer. Anything here that would fit for like pricing, that, boom, something like this. Nutrition coaching packages. So something in these would work. And there's a lot. See how that really zero to 10. This is where you start to think like a marketer rather than just, oh, hey, I just want keywords and I just want this. Like we want to focus. How to price your nutrition coaching services. How to price nutrition coaching services packages. Now, a lot of people are going to look at this and be like, well, Ahrefs didn't have that much traffic on it. You will get traffic. You just need to put it up there and then dial it in and say, okay, maybe I'll make a video on it. Maybe that's where it is, like how to price nutrition packages, something like this. Okay, they got a few views, so it's there, right? So, and all I need to do is make a video showing how to use the calculator on my website and say, go use the calculator. Super easy. So now we have this content, right, like this, and we can even use this content as our video. Like this is pretty solid content. Conclusion, quick recaps. Okay, so there we have that. And obviously, run it in Grammarly, check it out, make sure it's good. And it did get quite a few words. And read it yourself, like go through, make sure it's good content, right? And add to it. So now we'll go visual. So there's our calculator. Under our calculator, I'll start the content. Oh, we don't want it there. Let's see, I think we need to go there. Boom. Now we have our calculator with our content, double whammy, right? Now, because this is an iframe, we could probably add the guide on there, right? So I could probably go through and say, make it wider and put this on it. Let's see how that would, nutrition coach pricing calculator. So wherever that was, I could probably change that, or I could even just get the code for it. I think it was this one. That's fine, clients. Okay, so now I'd go through and do, okay, now let's make an article on how to use local sites and forums to find new clients. Clients, boom. Or you could even do like start a free class or something like that. And here we go. Let's see how this looks. How to use local sites to find forums to find new clients. So we'll do find new clients. That'll be our post. So dashboard, post, add post, find new clients as a nutrition coach. Good. Now we'll do this one here. See how this is looking. While we're waiting for that, let's check the graph. So this one did 1%. See how the more custom you get, the better it is? Like that's what you want. You want custom stuff because the search engines don't mind if you're using AI to help you make content. It cares if they want it. Look at that. That's good. Host free Zoom. You could be a Zoom affiliate. I mean, there's so many things you could do here. It's just, you know, you build it up. And that's why using the domain strategy helps, because even though this domain was not like a zinger or crazy, it was good enough for me to build a business around. And you can see here, track what's working. Looks good. And this will have our tool on it, right? So we'll go through like this. Announcing a free event. Great, wonderful. Sample scripts. Cool. Nice. Now, see, this is where I like this. Now, make a script prompt generator for them to use to get new clients. Watch this. This is where HTML, please. This is where the rubber is going to meet the road. So now we're getting content. We're getting tools. We could turn this into a course down the road. Game over. Now we're going to go through, copy this. I like this. So now we're getting posts. There we go. So we had, this was our pricer, how to find new clients. Boom, there's our post. Again, make sure you check the Grammarly and everything like that. Make sure it's all good. Nothing. Nice. So now we'll go through. We'll get that code we made. This is our other one. That's our image. That's that. So now we had, okay, we got to make the tool. There we go. We didn't make it yet. I'm getting ahead of myself. So now we have our content there. That's looking good. We'll go ahead and publish that content. Zoop, boop, boop, boop. There it is. Publish. Yep. Okay. Didn't accept it. So let's see why it didn't. Now, sometimes you will get it where it doesn't accept it. It's usually some simple formatting. So what I would do in that case, walk it through. So take the first bit, see if it takes it to part 1. Okay? So let's move this over here, just make it easier on ourselves. So we'll do part 1. Find nutrition coaching clients online. So we'll do part 1, publish, good. That worked. Go down to part 2. And we'll do part 3 just to get there, see if 2 and 3 take. If they don't, you'll know where the offending script is. So there's part 2, took it. Part 3, and so part 4. I'm guessing this table is what clunked it up. Enter, enter, just to get rid of the bullets. Post, good. Something in this script here. It's got to be, maybe it was just all of it together. Let's see. Update. Okay, something in there. So we'll go back there and we'll do step 6, use a tracking sheet. I'm guessing it's the tracking sheet. Let's get rid of that. Nope. Okay, so it's not the tracking sheet. It is something else. So tracking sheet, is it something in the conclusion, or maybe all these quotes? We don't need that because we're going to have the script. Okay, it wasn't the quotes. So it's something weird in here. Again, just kind of trial and error remedy it. Conclusion, FAQ, bonus tips. It's got to be something over here. On Zoom. Real world example. Forums. Okay. Whatever it is, you'd find that and fix it. But just go line by line and you'll figure out where it's at. Maybe it's like this sugar reset or something. But you'd find it, right? And you can even ask ChatGPT, like, what in this part is messing up WordPress? Okay, and while we're doing that, let's see, did it make our tool? What's this? Nutrition Coach Script Prompt Generator, copy. So I'm going to go back over to our cPanel right here, and we'll do new file, prompt clients.html, create, and prompt clients HTML, edit, save. We'll just do, so that was find clients, prompt clients.html. Okay, prompt clients, did I spell it right? I think it's here. Prompt, I spelled it wrong here, Cliclence. So we just fix that later. It's a little bit of a pain that I can't spell properly, but here it is. So outreach scenario, sharing a helpful tip or resource, answering a form question, first name, Marcus, city, Orlando, your audience niche, weight loss, or let's do healthy eaters, tip, what you eat may not be healthy, preferred contact, DM, generate, boom. Hey, that's pretty cool. Hey there, great question about what you eat may not be healthy. Whatever. We can even turn it into like a prompt generator, which would be cool. Very simple, and it does all the different ones. So making these tools and tweaking it and really thinking about like, how can I really focus on the market? How can I help them in a big way? This is key, right? Because now we're getting stuff that they're actually going to want. And now we got all this stuff. Look at this. Excellent. And these are helpful little scripts they can use. Like, look at this here. So on this one, here are 25 post ideas designed to help nutrition coaches get more business. There you go. Now, turn this into a tool they can use to make custom prompts based on these. And then it'll go through and it'll make like little prompts for them, which is really solid. So now, let's see how we're going. And then you can brand it with your logo and everything, which is cool. And what we're doing is we're starting to build up this site in a way that's going to work for us. And thinking again, at the same time, how can I do social media stuff? Like this, looking at this stuff here, these 25, I can go through and I can do a Pinterest or a social media or something that's like, let's make a Pinterest or let's do Facebook image for this. Title, nutrition, coach, client, getting secrets. Then at the bottom, have nutrition, coaching, secrets.com to get your free guide, or something like download's the magic word, download your free client getting guide. And let's see how this does. And then our tool here. And again, if you just keep working it through, this is how you do it. Like I was doing this weekend with the new Simple Sites 2025 course, which looks like this. And I was just in the zone, doing work, making these tools that pop up and help people along the way. And it wasn't really that hard to do. I just had to think about it in a different way, where it's like, oh, hey, these little tools will pop up. These tools I'm making the same way I'm doing here, right? So like the content toolbar, boom, there it is. Goes through and helps you with content. And this was all made with AI. And this, I'm going to have a video where I show how I did this and literally am going to 10x the amount of course sales I do. So now, let's see how the image looks. Where did our image go? I think we had it in one of these. Okay, so here's the templates. So this is the prompt, social post prompt generator, and then there's our image. So let's put the generator up, close some of these to make it easier, call this copy, and we'll do this postgen.html. You could do HTML or HTML. Postgen edit, save, nutrition, coaching secrets, counter, postgen.html, boom, done. Look at this. This is cool. And I could just lead them there and be like, hey, check it out. So common misconception, add your details, names, offers, milestones. Feel better, lose weight, whatever, nutrition, coaching. And what this will do is it'll generate a prompt based on what they want. common misconception. Okay, so I would go through and I'd have it. This is solid. I mean, this is pretty simple. I don't like the images. Make it more about being a successful coach. One main image. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. I could even go to Gemini if I want. Let's say make this create prompts for AI so they can make posts. It should understand it. Let's see here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start building this out, and I would have my block in there. So wherever I had that block, I think it was in the main one here. So I would do this block or the get more clients block, whichever one fit best. And then I could go through and I could say, okay, now this is where AI gets even bigger. I can go through and say new. Now look at this post and come up with affiliate programs I can join to make money, and also related content I can make in the form of a related articles list, 3 to 5. Very engaging. Watch this. Oh, I got to give it the post. There we go. Got to give it the link. Here you go. Okay, we'll stop here. See how it knows I'm talking about nutrition coaching? That's insane. So now we'll do like this. It should know right away. And then again, if you want notes from this, gohubsite.com. But see how we're using all of this stuff? Another thing you could do is you could go to Notebook LM and start making content here. This is a great way to get unique content. So I could go to YouTube, I can find all the videos about nutrition coaching stuff. I could put them in there, make my own or whatever. Let's do discover sources just to make it easier. And I'll say nutrition coaching price strategies. And this will help you understand your market in a completely different way, where like I can learn from everything else that's out there, get a mind map and everything. So we'll do import. All of these look good. Import. Then when it's done, I could generate an audio overview. I could put that on the site as something they can listen to. I can make a mind map, an FAQ, or whatever it is. And this is game-changing stuff where, 5 years ago, we couldn't do all this. Like you had to go and hire people to write. Now AI does it for you, and it's making the tools. So we could do FAQ, study guide, timeline. And what I'll do is I'll put a lot of this stuff on that site so you can go check it out. So here we have our mind map, common pricing. This is fantastic. Like this is all social media stuff. I could do nutrition, health coaching, common pricing mistakes, not listing prices, undercharging on purpose, worrying about competition. This is fantastic. Now I'm visualizing my market, and I'm going to be a much better marketer. Here's the affiliate programs. That Vidal coaching, that could work. Healthy wage, that could work. Here's the engaging articles we can put. And now we're starting to build this thing up and look at it like a business. Again, going through, putting our stuff in here, right? Where we could go in and, let's get rid of that. Where we could go in and put our banner ad to get them back. Copy, boom, put this in our content. And then watch where it starts to rank and deliberately go out there and find people who would want to read this. Like that's the key, right? Building this up as a business if you want to be in it to win it. And then later, as I learn about it, I can make an affiliate, or not affiliate, I can make a membership site, whatever I want. But going through and building this out to really help people, and they'll read and be like, oh yeah, I want the kit. Boom, they go to opt in. Now you're building a mailing list. This is really how you start a business and make it work. And again, looking at the tools with the prompts. We had Gemini working on it, wherever Gemini was, over here somewhere. And don't worry, you don't have to have this many tabs open as you're doing it. So now it looks like it did better. How to use it. Okay, so let's see if this worked better. Here's the modified code. So the modified code, we just go in here, post gen, edit, Control A, delete, copy, paste, boom. Should change this. Nice. Choose the post type. Why work with me? Add your details. Cool. What it's going to do is it's going to make that prompt. Add some details. Best coach. Affordable. Whatever. Okay? This will generate this. And now the nutrition coach could just come here and be like, I want more clients. Well, let me go to ChatGPT, paste in the prompt, bada bing, bada bang. Now we're going to do this. Ready to post. Struggling to break through that plateau? You're not alone, but you don't have to stay stuck. I'm here to help you take the guesswork out of your nutrition. That's pretty solid. I mean, nutrition coaches don't know how to use AI this way. And then we could be like, oh, hey, now I want one for Instagram. Okay, now I want one for Twitter. There you go. It's got to be smaller, right? Why work with me? Industry news reaction. Nice. Look at that. You could do like, the government stops funding for nutrition coaches or whatever. Here's how to get around it, or here's how to whatever, right? Make it honest, make it true, make it good. But you could go through and do stuff like this. And look, it's going to find the news item. This is so cool. And going through, like now it's going to go through and find that. A new study just confirmed what many of us suspected. The best nutrition coaches aren't always the most expensive. Nice. As a coach, I love this because it means more people are realizing the true value. See how he's coming across as like, hey, bro, I'm just chill trying to help you out. It's even got the hashtags. How many of you guys are seeing like, wow, this is better than just content, and I can make these all day. Now I can iframe this on my site and say, here's how to get more people on social media, and bada bing, bada bang. Now I'm building up this site in a super simple way. So hopefully you guys are understanding how this works, why I like using regular hosting in WordPress better than fancy stuff, because it's going to allow me to get those rankings in a better way. It's going to allow me to be able to have the tools and the things that I can add rather than other stuff, which this is going to change the game. So if you like this video, hopefully you did. Let's see where we are in our notes. Monetization methods. We can go through, like maybe I can do an Amazon affiliate thing or a course. Display ads in this market would show up good. Digital products, courses, printables, templates. Membership, sponsored content, email marketing, following up with them, learning about what they want, maybe get them into web hosting, right? Like now let's do on now an article about why every nutrition coach needs a domain and a website. Something like this. This is super simple. And then we could show them how to do it, or we could build it for them, right? You could charge $300, build them a cool website, add some tools on it, help them out, maybe even charge more. Very cool. This would set you up in a business that you can set these people, right? So you own your brand, all this. Very cool. Here's a piece of content I would make as a post or a page, right? I would actually do this as a page. So I do dashboard, page. Posts are usually to get ranked on Google and other search engines. Pages are for us to sell stuff. This is going to sell them on web hosting. Not necessarily, there's not a lot of people searching for, do I need a domain as a nutrition coach? We're going to take our traffic we're getting from all our other stuff, point them here, and make sales. This is what I do all the time. It works like crazy. So now we would have our article on why they need this, and then I would just put my affiliate. And look, it's even doing the related. It's like, it's remembering what I want. This is where ChatGPT 4.1 is like off the chart. So now we'll take this, make our post here. I would put my affiliate link for hosting in here, which if you go to gohubsite.com, you'll see what mine looks like. Just go to gohubsite.com. You can see. So I could just borrow from here, be like, oh, hey, sign up for this one. Obviously, tell them you're an affiliate. You don't want to like not, but you could go through and start adding this. Now, it did have a little error in the code. So again, we'd have to go line by line, which It's not too difficult. We just kind of got to walk it through. Boop. 1. Let's see if we can get down to 3. Should be able to, hopefully. Nope. Okay, so it's something in 3. So it's those weird characters. So whatever it is in those characters, probably like these big long lines. Let's see if that's it. No, it's not the line. I thought it was, but you'll see what it is. Maybe the brackets or something. But you can go through and start making that content and get them into web hosting or whatever it is. Very simple. Just copy and paste and start making things. You can even make a little video. Here's how to sign up for web hosting. But going through and doing this, we're starting to build a site where we have everything in line to build a business around this. And that's what we want. We want to build a business around this that works. So very important, very cool. We want to go through, make it work, fix our image, of course. But you guys can see how this works and why we use WordPress and AI. And again, really looking at this at a real world way, saying, okay, how can I fix the things I need to fix? How can I get that traffic in here? And how can I make them actually go through and buy the stuff I want them to buy? Then we go through, we could do AI SEO for automation. So what I would do is, like I'm doing on my explainer video one, go through, see where it starts to rank. So like here, I can see where my new stuff is starting to rank. So for best whiteboard animation software, I can see here, maybe I can add to this or change the title or fix it to where I can actually get them in. And notice how I have my affiliate links here that go to the offer. I get paid when that works. And then I can go through and say, okay, well, how can I now make this rank better? Let's see where it's at. Best whiteboard animation software. We are, I think, page 2. Let's see here. Somewhere around here. Maybe page 3. And they do fluctuate, so, take it with a grain of salt and look at it. But like that one, okay, that might have dropped. I don't know if that's super recent. Let's try Famous Animator. It says we're number 1. Famous Animator. There we are. So we're number 1 there. So top 10 animation artists. So if I wanted to rank that higher, which I'm number 1, so I really don't need to, but I would title it Famous Animator or something like that. Or maybe like how to embed a video in PowerPoint or something like that. And again, I don't know how super recent these are. Best whiteboard animation, explainer video production. Maybe this one here. Could I do better on this one? No, I'm number 1. So, but I could go through and tweak it and see what I could do better or what I could add to. Like sometimes when I get a domain like this, it will have had, like this one had 338 pages. So we got a lot of content to add where, we want to go through and do that. 3D animation pipeline. This one's starting to index. Not yet. It should show up way up there. So we're waiting for it to index. But going through and looking at this as a business and saying, what can I do? How can I grow? How can I use AI to optimize? I can throw it in there and say, hey, I ranked number 10. How do I boost it up? Scaling, duplicate the process for more sites or more content. AI for email marketing. I could go through. One of the things we added in the new Simple Sites course under the follow-up series, we added the follow-up tool that'll literally write your follow-up emails for you based on your topic. So, do I practice what I preach? Here it is. This is what we're doing, right? It's very simple. And is it based on a blog? Yeah. The thing that promotes this is the Affiliate Marketing Dude website, which is a blog. That's all it is. We got our opt-in here, which again looks terrible, but hey, for whatever reason, terrible works. And then we have our links here, which get ranked and stuff like that. And again, watch what you rank for and what happens. I'm not the best SEO guy on the planet, but I've had hundreds of millions of people come to my blogs, and you could see here, okay, what do I rank for and why? So we're ranking for Pi Ad Block, number 32. Can I do better? We're ranking for this net worth or GoDaddy or whatever it is. How do I boost these up? Look at the volume. What words do I want? Home Depot affiliate program? Yeah, I want a better than 36 on that one. How do I do it? I could go through and say, hey, there's a student of mine. I can go through and I could see where I'm at and say, how would I do better? And I'm not sure where we're at. I think we're number like 30 or something. And if I can get that traffic, people looking up Home Depot affiliate program are perfect for my product because that's what they want. They want to do affiliate programs and stuff like that. And if I can do this, so here we are here, I can say ChatGPT or Gemini or whatever, I rank number 32 for Home Depot affiliate program. How can I make this rank better? And you can test it. Obviously, if it's getting a bunch of traffic, I don't know if I trust AI just to fix it. But you can go through. So to improve it, here's what you do. In-depth research, best strategies. Cool. Now update my article. And we'll wait for this. This is fantastic stuff. This is telling me exactly what to do, and I could do it. I mean, this is, boom, there you go. And this is what a lot of people don't do because they're too busy just making articles that they think are cute. And it's like, no, we need to strategy. This is all about strategy and building and growing and making it work. So now we have this here, and it'll revamp it. Home Depot affiliate program, how to earn big in 2024. I'd change that to 5, of course. And now it's going through and changing this up. So let's see what ours looks like. So we have cracking the code. Oh yeah, this is way better. Theirs is, the new one is way better. I would probably just slap that thing up there right away. And we do have some images, which are kind of cool. But yeah, going through, working this stuff up, and really going through and looking at it in the eye of the searcher and the consumer is key. And then thinking, okay, well, maybe I can't get better than a number 32. Could I post this on social media and drive people back to the content I made? This would be perfect for like Instagram or something. Visit the site to learn more, or visit the site to find 100 ways that are unique to promote the program, or whatever it is. Same thing we're doing here with the nutrition coach of like, how do I dive deep into this niche and be in it to win it? Like, I want to do the best I can. If I want to make a living, I need to act like it and make it work. So, awesome stuff. Let's go through what we want to avoid. Don't rely only on AI. Edit, fact check, add your own voice. Make sure it's good. Focus on helpful, real value, not just search rankings. Start simple. Get a few people in. See what they want. See if you could sell something. Build and grow. Keep costs low with free, cheap. This is key. Like, we don't need the fancy tools. You can get them later if you want, but first let's make some bucks and let's make it work. Conclusion, if you guys want the notes from this video, I have my note taker working on them as soon as this thing goes out so she can make them really good for you. We'll have them at aiprofitscoop.com, as well as some links to the theme builder, the theme I have, and some other things for you. If you enjoyed this, type long form videos, let's go, as a comment below, and let me know you appreciate this. And hopefully you can walk through and start getting this and making it work. But I think AI and SEO, AI and WordPress are your best friend if you make it work. I got some videos in the description, more about niche marketing, making tools and things like that. Enjoy them, smash the like button, and I'll see you in the next training.